Welcome back. Toxic and unbearable. Those are just some of the words employees have used to describe the office of Governor General Julie Payette, who is under investigation for harassing her staff. Now, these allegations, not yet proven, but a reminder of the ongoing issue around bullying in the workplace. To discuss that and more, I'm joined by the founder of Williams HR Law, Laura Williams. Good morning to you, Laura.
Good morning, Melanie. Good to be with you.
Good to have you here. So let's just begin with this case in general. Obviously, we can't speak to the specifics. That has yet to be proven. But this is more commonplace than we think, the bullying, the harassment against employees.
Yes, it is. And I like the question you've posed to your viewers, because one of the things that we have to acknowledge is that with the pandemic climate, with people being more on edge, there's a lot more anxiety and fear, that it leaves us more prone to bad behaviors.
So how do you, because when you talk to a lot of people, there seems to be a line. At what point is it harassment? Where is it bullying? Where is it just making one comment that someone might misconstrue? At least when it comes to the law, where do you draw those lines?
Well, it's obviously subjectively felt, but it certainly is. The lens is an objective lens. And essentially, there is a very kind of technical legal threshold that will determine whether or not the behaviors are offensive. But, common behaviors when it comes to bullying are any conduct that really is intended to or has the effect of demeaning, demoralizing, making people feel that they're disempowered within the workplace. So the yelling, sometimes it's even exclusionary behaviors. So, not speaking to people, excluding them from certain workplace activities. All of this can constitute bullying.
We have a key up there showing a forum poll from 2018, which is still very valid today, surveying a number of Canadians, suggesting 55% of the workforce has experienced some form of bullying. So I'm assuming those numbers don't surprise you.
They're not surprising. And I think that forum poll also includes those in the workplace that observed their peers or colleagues being bullied as well. But, one of the things when it comes to this type of conduct in the workplace is those experiencing it don't always come forward. So the numbers typically lower. Also, those observing, and they may be offended by the treatment of their colleagues or their coworkers, they sometimes are reticent to come forward as well, because they don't want to be the target of that conduct, should they be considered to be the rat in the workplace that brings it forward or tells someone else or someone in authority that the conduct is going on.
So, Laura, what are your recommendations for someone, let's say, who's felt they've been the victim of bullying or has seen bullying? What are the steps?
Well, the steps are definitely, if sometimes we're human beings working with each other, sometimes there's genuine misunderstandings, jokes that go too far. If you feel you can resolve it by saying, hey, this isn't cool, this is not acceptable, you've crossed a threshold with me, if that can be effectively done, then raise it and try to resolve it. But where it really is a targeted course of conduct, and particularly if it comes from a superior, then, workplaces need to have, by a function of law in Ontario, and federally there's regulation that's coming down the pike as well, that there has to be a mechanism for employees to bring complaints forward, and those complaints should be investigated. And then there's other very specific requirements that have to be met. So what's important in the workplace context is to ensure that there's the policy framework, there's a complaints mechanism, and it serves employers and organizations well to also have designated certified HR professionals that know how to navigate this terrain.
And I think one of the big lessons here is to not let things sit, is to speak up as soon as something does happen,
Yes.
To document as well, for your sake. Laura, I wish we had more time, but we appreciate your insight. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.